I hope that you're well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 2 English lesson on sentence types. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English Language Arts. We're doing grade 2. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of sentence types. All right. So our chapter is sentence types. Our subject is English Language Arts. We're doing grade 2. And the lessons that we are focusing on today under the chapter of sentence types, it is a sentence a statement, question, command, or exclamation? All right, so we're going to say, is it a sentence? Is it a question? Is it a command? Or an exclamation? So when it comes to our different sentence types, right, then there are four types of sentence. There are four kinds of sentences. So we have four kinds of sentences. The first one is we have a statement. So we have a statement, and a statement is a sentence that tells you about something. Can be anything. So we see that a statement, right? It basically just tells us something. It's like anything random. So it just tells us something. And when it comes to a statement, right? A statement, it always ends with a period. So a statement, it always ends with a period. And if we look at an example, right, of a statement, and it says, I have an older brother and a younger sister. So I have an older brother and a younger sister. So basically, you telling somebody that I have an older brother and a younger sister, the person doesn't even have to respond, right? That is why we say that a statement, it basically just tells you about something. And in this case, I have an older brother and a younger sister, or saying I'm going to school, or saying I'm going to the mall, or I'm going to buy something for Christmas. It's basically just telling someone something. And then we have a question. And a question, right, is a sentence that asks something. And when you ask something, then it means that somebody needs to respond. So when you ask something, then somebody needs to respond. It's like if I'm asking, what's your name? Then it means that you're going to respond by saying what your name is. How old are you? You're going to respond by saying how old you are. So a question is a sentence that asks something. And when it comes to a question, right, that asks questions, that asks something, a question, it always ends with a question mark. So it always ends with a question mark. So once again, we have a question, and a question is a sentence that asks something, and it always ends with a question mark. And if you look at an example, right, of a question, it says, how tall are you? So if I were to ask you, how old are you? Then it means that you would respond because I'm asking a question. If you were to ask me a question, I would respond because you're asking me a question, and it ends with a question mark. And then we have a command, right? The next sentence is a command and it makes a request. It's like saying, I command, but now it's not like them stressing upon, like, I command you to do this. No, it's just them, it makes a request or it tells someone to do something. And with a command, right, a command, it usually ends with a period. But if the command shows strong feelings and then it ends with an exclamation point. And if we look at an example, it says read the first chapter by next week. So if your teacher were to tell you to read the chapter or the next chapter by next week, then that is the teacher telling you what to do. because you will be writing an exam, so which means that you need to read that chapter. So we said that when our command ends with a period. When you're making a request, then it's basically just somebody telling you to do something. But if the command shows strong feelings, and if we look at another example, right, this is also still part of the command. It says, look out for that car, and it ends with an exclamation point, which means that this one shows again strong feelings, right, or stronger feelings. It's like literally telling you to do something because either you don't see the car or something like that. And then lastly, we have an exclamation sentence. And an exclamation is like a statement, but it shows surprise, it shows surprise, and it shows strong feelings. And when it comes to an exclamation and then in an exclamation, it always ends with an exclamation point. So an exclamation is like a statement, but it shows strong feelings or it shows surprise, and it always ends with an exclamation point. And if we look at examples, it says some whales are over 90 feet long. It's like, yeah, it's like you are in awe, right? You are shocked, like, wow, like, really? And then the next one is, I can't wait until tomorrow. So these are our four kinds of sentences. We said we have a statement, and a statement is a sentence that tells us about something, and it always ends with a period. Then we have a question, and a question is a sentence that asks something and it ends with a question mark. And then we have a command, which makes a request or tells someone to do something. And it either ends in a period or if the command shows strong feelings, it ends in an exclamation point. And then lastly, we have an exclamation, which is like a sentence, a statement, but it shows surprise and strong feelings, and it always ends with an exclamation. All right. So now we're going to A plus students.ca and we're going to look at the four different kinds of sentences. And then we're going to our test. So we're going to say, is the sentence a statement? Is it a question? Is it a command? Or is it an exclamation? All right. And we said we have a statement, we have a question which answers questions, we have a command, and an exclamation sentence. All right. So now we need to say what kind of sentence this is, whether it is a statement, whether it is a question, command, or exclamation. We need to say what kind of sentence this is. It says those boys are in so much trouble. So if we were to look at the sentence, it says the boys are in so much trouble. We need to say what kind of sentence that is. Is it a statement, a question, a command, or an exclamation? So if we were to say those boys are in so much trouble, yes, that is an exclamation sentence. That is correct. So we say it's an exclamation sentence because it's probably showing strong feelings. So it's an exclamation sentence. Well done. And it ends with an exclamation point. All right, the next one says, you just splashed me. Is that a sentence, a statement? Is it a question, command, or an exclamation? You just splashed me. So we need to say what kind of sentence it is. All right. And if we were to say what kind of sentence this is, and then we can say it is an exclamation. All right. Well done. Let's look at the last one and then we're going to our test. We need to say what kind of sentence this is. It says, send me a postcard from New York. Send me a postcard from New York. So send me a postcard from New York. What type of sentence is that? So send me a postcard from New York. What kind of sentence is that? So send me a postcard from New York. So send me a postcard from New York. So send me a postcard. We can say this is a command. And the reason why this is a command is because it's basically telling you to do something. It's like requesting. Yes, well done. It's a command. And the reason why we say it's a command is because you are requesting something or you're telling someone to do something for you. And remember, we said a command, it's either, you're telling someone to do something, it's a request that is being made. All right. So now we're going to our test, right? Where we're going to now say, is a sentence, a statement, a command, an exclamation, or a question. All right, and we're going to our test. So we need to say what kind of sentence this is. What did the teacher just say? So what did the teacher just say? Is that option one a question, or is that option two a command? So is it option one a question? What did the teacher say? Or option two a command? Which one is correct? And if we were to choose the correct option, then it is a question that is being asked. What did teacher just say? Now your friend will probably repeat. So it is basically a question that is being asked. So option one, well done. The next one says, how many elephants are at the zoo? How many elephants are at the zoo? So now the next one says, how many elephants are at the zoo? So how many elephants are at the zoo? Is that option one a question, or is it option two an exclamation? How many elephants are at the zoo? So, how many elephants are at the zoo? And then we can say this is a question. Yes. Well done. Yes, well done. A question is correct. All right, the next one says, where are my fancy shoes? Is that option one a question or option two a command? Where are my fancy shoes? Is that a question or a command? So, where are my fancy shoes? And if we were to choose the correct option, then we will choose a question option one. Yes. Well done. Question is correct. All right, the next one says, the girls watch the parade every year. So the girls watch the parade every year. Is that a statement or an exclamation? The girls watch the parade every year. Is that a statement, option one, or an exclamation, option two? So option one or option two? And if we were to choose the correct option, right, to say what kind of sentence it is, then we can say it is a statement, right? Because it's basically just something random. The girls, basically just you telling someone something. So well done. Option one is correct. And let's look at the last one. It said Vicky goes to the park every weekend. So Vicky goes to the park every weekend. Is that a question or is it a statement? All right. And if we were to choose the correct option, if we were to say what kind of sentence this is, Vicky goes to the park every weekend, then we can say, yes, it is option two, a statement. So well done. Well done, everybody. All right. So this is now the end of our lesson on sentence types. We said we have four different kinds of sentences. We have a statement, a question, a command, and an exclamation, right? A statement, it basically just tells someone something and it ends with a period. A question, it asks a question and it ends with a question mark. A command, it basically makes a request or tells someone to do something and it either ends with a period, or a command that basically, shows strong feelings, stresses a point, that ends with an exclamation mark, exclamation point. And then we have an exclamation, which is like a statement, but it ends with an exclamation sentence. It shows strong feelings or it basically shows surprise. All right, so this is the end of our lesson. Thank you very much, grade twos, for joining the class. And I really hope you're going to have a good day further. So, till next time, goodbye.